And Ouattara, the president of Ivory Coast, has been toppled. Yes, this is the really old man. He's actually 83. And the rumors is that basically he has been unalived, but we don't know that. But this is the guy that was chosen by Michael Langley to help assassinate the president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore. And he has been overthrown. My brothers and sisters of Cote d'Ivoire, you got the memo. You got the memo. You need to topple these dictators. You need to topple these people who have sucked every ounce of your blood in order to give it to the colonizers. My people of Ivory Coast. So there are videos of jubilant crowds celebrating in the streets of Ivory Coast.
Welcome back, family. I think I can't just call this a coup attempt. I cannot call this a coup attempt because you see this. This is a brown yellow that the people are fighting on how to share it, how to take it, how to control it. This is called uranium that is being controlled, being found in Niger, because Niger is the world largest control of uranium. But this uranium being in Niger, it's like a how can I put it? It's like a threat, because this country can never find peace when they are having these resources. They cannot find peace when they are having this kind of resources, because the world need it. It doesn't just mean the resources or the uranium, because despite everything or every meaningful meaning of this resource, but the best is about the atomic bomb, because for the atomic bomb to be created or manufactured or to be built, it needs this uranium. And who is having it? Abraham Tiani of Niger. So the world needs the country of Niger at all cost. And that's why they're trying every possible means to make sure that they come back in this country to control all that this country is having. That's why they're doing their possible ways to make sure that they come back to control this resource, because they need it. And because the person who is controlling this country is no longer able or ready to give it out to the people who need it, that's why you see their life is in danger. His life is in danger. That's why you see his life is in danger. And this is something that has happened just last night. We have the images of many people who has, including the white people. They were the white law enforcement, the French. And this man, the Tiani is accusing the French President, Mr. Emmanuel Macron, because he knows well that he is the person behind everything, and he is not coming direct to issue the threats or to take over this country or anything, but he's using the fellow African leaders to do this. He's using the fellow African leaders to do this. And we know this. We know for the longest time we're having in Sahel or in West African countries, we're having 14 countries. Out of these 14 countries, 3 of them are not together with the rest. I'm talking about the Sahel region, where we have Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. These are the independent countries in West Africa which are being ruled by military leaders, including Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. And that these countries, there are some harsh restrictions. The people are no one's just allowed to go and interact just like you feel, because this country is a red line. These countries are, how can I put it? Because for them to move out of the ECOWAS and move out of the control of France, they saw something much important. And they feel like for them to be able to do what they want to do, they cannot do it if they're still captives, if they're still in bond with this France influence or control. Now, Alassane Ouattara is the president of is the president of Ivory Coast. This man has been tried to be overthrown several times. And this man, together with the president of Nigeria, Mr. Tinubu, these are the people who have always been trying to fight against their own leaders in Africa, because these are today still the puppets to the West, to the France, to the Europe. Because these are the same people who today they are fighting so hard to intervene their fellow African countries, their neighbors. There's still the people who are still trying to overthrow, who are being used by the French or the Europe to overthrow African leaders who are not cooperative, who are not submissive to the French control. And now it's the time I think Africans should wake up. The entire Africa should wake up. It's not a matter of looking to the Abraham and Tiani. It's not about looking up to Ibrahim Traore, because these are the only people who have tried to show us or to give us directions. They're the people who have tried to give us direction and tell us that for us to be independent, for us to remain sovereign, for us to be as how we want the African continent to be, we must sacrifice, we must fight, or else Africa will remain will remain under control. Africa will remain under the foreign influence. But Africa will never wake up, or will never be free, because there's some people who are there to make sure that they don't allow this such thing to happen. Because today, if Africa unites, if Africa say that the entire continent say that no to foreign influence, the world is going to suffer. The world is going to suffer because for them to survive, for them to maintain their own great weapons they're having, like all these atomic bombs and everything, they need Africa's resources. But if Africa rise up and say that no access to African resources, how will they be able to come and interfere with this? They cannot. So these are the people who try to give us an example. I remember every time, whenever I come to address these issues, I remember the words of Burkina Faso's Ibrahim Traore. He once said that is the matter of Africans. It's better we fight or we remain slaves forever. And I don't feel like, or I don't think if there is any Africans who may like to go back to the slavery life. We were never there when this slavery happens. We were never there when Africans was under slavery, under colonization and everything. But we just hear this and see this through or from the history, from the stories, from the people who are there. And it was harsh, it was bad, it was brutal. I don't think if today's generation, we can survive under this kind of life. So for us to avoid this, for us to avoid Africans being under colonization and enslavement, again, it's about our sacrifice. It's about the unity. It's about the unity and joining our hands together to say that we are here to protect our motherland. Because as we are coming out of this every day, there are some people who are going in a place every day to discuss on how to control and bring back this great continent back to their hands, back to their control. It is happening. When you see African leaders who are trying to stand for the sovereignty, who are trying to protect this great continent, they're being targeted every day, then you should know that even your life is not in safe. Your future's life, your generation's life are not in a safer place. Because this means that they'll make sure that they eliminate anyone who is trying to come out and fight for this great continent. They'll make sure that they come out to fight for anyone who is trying to awaken and remind Africans that this is what we have to do. Because they have never agreed defeat. They never accepted defeat. They have never agreed if Africa can be great, if Africa can produce anyone who is great, who is strong. They have never agreed this. That's why anytime we find someone who is great, who is a believer or a firm believer to the Africa's unity and African freedom and independence, they must find a way on how to eliminate them. That's why we always come here to speak about the assassination of great leaders like Lumumba, Nkrumah, Malcolm X, Sankara, and many other leaders. Because these are the people who try to remind others. Let me tell you today something. France and America are not afraid of Ibrahim Traore because he is a military leader. But they are afraid of Ibrahim Traore's vision. Because when this man stands up and try to awaken Africans, remind them that you people, you know what? This is what you have to do. But if we are not able to do this, we're going to suffer. That is what they fear. They fear someone who is ready or there to awaken others. They fear someone who has the great vision to awaken Africa from the sleep. They fear someone who is there to lead others and show them the way of leadership. Because what they introduced in Africa after they left, claiming that they have given African continent the freedom and independence, they left, but they never left. They left, but they never left as colonizers. They just evolved and changed the way of enslavement. So today they are not using chains, but they are using minds on how to control the people. They are using policies. They are using their democracies. That's why every time we go in this kind of political democracy, anything, all this, we are not able to find the leaders or the choice of our own, the leader of our own choice. But we are finding someone who is a choice for other people. We are not able to find these leaders, someone who is of our choice, because we are not yet given that opportunity to make that choice. So Abdurrahman Tiani has issued a warning that it's just a matter of minutes, and we are going to show you what's the meaning of sovereignty, what's the meaning of independence, and what we mean when you say that we no longer want your influence, we no longer want your support. We are okay for who we are. So I will not take much of your time about this, because there is a lot of images. I can recommend you to go and watch from the bio, because these images I can just expose from this site. We can be sanctioned by the YouTube, because it's against the policy. Now I can recommend you to go and watch this, because there's some images there about the people who have been. So it's not good to show it out unless you go and find it, and you will have to know what is happening. Try to be blessed to from that. I appreciate you doing great. Continue subscribing, sharing. This is a Black History, and let's keep on moving together. Be blessed.